Hi guys, it's Scott with another tool thought. I had gotten asked by a viewer to do a tour of my Packout, so I'm going to try and accommodate him today. There it is in all its glory. That is, it's loaded for bear configuration. It wheels nicely into a job site, and the only thing you have to carry in is that little red and black bag on the side, which I'll discuss a little later on. This I only use for trims and finishes on on jobs. I don't take this on a rough-in or a pre-wire. I've got a complete separate bag for that, except for a couple of the 18-volt drills that I have in the very bottom there that I throw in the pre-wire bag. I don't like taking all my good tools in a rough environment. I like to keep my tools nice and clean and serviced. I really don't understand guys that beat the hell out of their tools. I mean, they cost money, they make you money, and if you treat them well and take care of them, you'll get years, sometimes even decades of use out of them. So, why not keep them nice and oiled and, clean? So anyway, I wanted to discuss something that I talked about in my first tool bag tour, which was, this 12-volt Milwaukee Screw Gun. It's a fuel, it's brushless. The thing has ridiculous torque. So, when I'm on trims and finishes, that's really the only thing I use for drilling and driving. I mean, I really don't need to tap into the 18-volt stuff. I mean, I drive, standard drill bits with hex shanks on them that chuck right into it. Paddle bits will chuck right into it. And, if you need bigger holes in metal or whatnot, you just use step drills that have the 1/4-inch quick shank in them. So, that's really all I need, basically is this bag gets most jobs done trim and finish wise. And then, if I need to get into the Packout itself, it's there too. But it doesn't get used as nearly as much as just the top bag. I mean, it's a great toolbox. I like going top of the line all the way, and, from the stacking tool rigs that I've seen, this one beats them all by a mile, so that's why I have it. And then you're not going to get a better bag than a Vito Pro Pack, so top of the line, man, all the way. So let's move the top bag, which you're already familiar with, out of the way and get started on the Packout. So there it is. It's got 3 stacks. I mean, you can stack it as high as you want. They make organizers that click into this setup, and you can buy Milwaukee soft tool bags that'll click in there as well. And now, no offense to Milwaukee, but their tool bags aren't Vito Pros. I mean, they're really high quality. I've seen them. They're really nice. But like I said, I like to go top of the line on everything. So I'm thinking about buying a product called a Pack-Aid, which has the cleats that'll click into this. And you can buy them, and they'll screw onto the bottom of the Vito, and it'll click in there just like one of the actual Milwaukee bags. But anyway, so here's the top box. It's the small one. I keep my laptop in here. It fits perfectly. Stand by a minute. Let me pull this out so the lid will stay up. So I keep my laptop double padded in this little case. It fits in here perfectly. I've got the power cords, some HDMI cables and some network cables, and multiple different dongles and interface adapters for the different, systems that we program. Here's one of the Milwaukee organizers that comes in this. And it's got the mouse in there, the network dongle, and some USB stuff. Extra blinkers and whatnot. This works well. It keeps the laptop protected. It's water resistant, dust resistant, shock resistant. I mean, I don't want to beat up my laptop, so it stays in this. Fits very well in there. It's a little cumbersome, but I know it's protected that way. And I really don't have any other use for this small box. I've got a coworker that's got the exact same setup, and he's got about, 15 or 20 Milwaukee 18-volt batteries, and they all fit in there perfectly. And that's a good use for that. But I don't have that many batteries. So I use it for my laptop. The next one is I think it's called the medium toolbox. You know, it's got a couple trays inside. It fits nice. You know, most of the time this is how it looks with my Vito on top. I don't really take the laptop in often, only when there's programming to do. You know, the wheels work well. They roll over stuff real great, real good. Anyway, I got sidetracked there, sorry. Here's what's in the middle box. Now this one you got to slide forward as well too, because the lid won't stay up. I'm thinking about attaching some kind of metal or something to this and then putting a rare earth magnet on the handle here, and then maybe it would stay up by itself. But this is how it looks. It comes with 2 of these trays, and I took one out to use further down the line here. I'll show you that in a little bit. But this is all the stuff that I need for my job, but that I don't use every day, so it's kind of relegated to this secondary area in my toolbox. So what I got in here is some gear wrenches. I keep them on a carabiner, you know, organized by size. It works out pretty well. I got the smaller set. You know, the rest of them, they won't all go on one. That's a really good way to organize. I picked that up from another guy's tool bag video. I look at those a lot because it gives me ideas for tools that I don't have and better ways to do stuff, and you know, we all learn from each other. So that's the purpose of these videos. You know, just my opinions and the way I do things. Here's a channel lock Crescent wrench. I think these are the best because they're actually made by a company out of Spain called Irega. They make them for channel lock, and they are rock solid. They open really wide. They're real stable. There's not a lot of rattle. It's a good adjustable wrench. You got a pair of tin snips. You never know what you're going to run into inside of a wall, especially in you know, commercial construction. I've got the CH Hansen locking pliers. Now these don't work like standard vice grips. They've got this little adjustment knob in here, which instead of having to constantly adjust the clamping pressure like a regular set of vice grips, you know, and adjusting to different size fasteners, you adjust this little knob and it maintains the constant pressure, and it's got this spring inside, and it adjusts to different fastener sizes without having to, you know, constantly readjust. So far it's worked well. You know, I don't use them a lot, but you know, I haven't had any issues with it. Here we got a set of needle nose vice grip type pliers. Same concept as the other ones. You adjust the locking pressure, not the size. Set of eagle beaks from Ideal. I believe they're made in the USA. No offense to anybody, but I don't like the overseas made stuff unless it's German. I like the German and American stuff. Y'all know by my previous videos, I'm a channel lock fanboy. Here's another set of channel locks. I can't have too many of them in my opinion. Some electrical tools, wire nut spinner and screw for EMT fitting tightener. It works great, and there's also a conduit reamer built in. This is a pretty good tool. Like I said, my main trade is not electrical, but I do know how to do it. I've had some schooling, you know, so I do it a little bit here and there just for people I know. Here's a Romex Stripper from Ideal. It's a pretty good little deal. I like it a lot. Last electrical tool is a wire nut spinner that you can put in your screw gun. It works well too. An old easy Rj45 and Rj11 Crimper. It's starting to give up, and it's really not that old. I've switched to a different type made by Ideal. It's a little simpler design. It seems to be holding up a lot better. I just don't have it in me to throw this out. It's, you know, it's about $100 tool. Good for backup. I got a step drill rolling around in here that won't chuck into my 12-volt Milwaukee Screw Gun, so this is for the big boy. Can wrench. Anybody in the low-volt telecom industry knows what that's for. And a couple sets of Allen wrenches, standard and metric. Actually made by Allen and made in the USA. I think they're not in operation anymore, so not real sure if they are or not. I think somebody bought them out and closed them down. This is for getting leverage on F fittings and B and C's and things like that. I think it'll do RCA's as well. This is the F end. This is the other end, made by Liberty Wire and Cable, just for pushing on them stubborn ends. Sometimes they won't go on to the RG6, and you can use this to push them on. That's pretty much it for that tray. I got a little organizer with some, you know, electrical staples and wire fasteners in it. Harris Telecom butt set. At the time I bought this, which was probably 15 years ago, it was top of the line, and I think it still is. Unless I'm missing something. I could be wrong, but you know, it's rugged, it's taken a beating, and it still works. Good stuff. We got a Rhino 5200 labeler. This here is a Tapcon cone drive. You chuck it into your drill, and then you drive with one end and drill with the other, so that you don't have to constantly keep you know, taking the drill out of your drill, you know, the drill bit out of your drill, and then putting the driver bit in. Saves a lot of time. I got a set of Cobalt rigid high-speed steel drill bits for the harder steels. Cobalt, I believe, is the, you know, the best material for drilling hard metals. We have the BES wall protector, drywall wall protector plate. It's what it is if you've cut a hole into drywall and you need to drill down, and you're worried about hitting somebody's paint on their wall or something. You put this through the hole and it clips in there with these clips, and it protects the drywall while you drill down. I got this circle maker. I actually got it at Home Depot in the drywall section. I don't know what they use it for, but I use it for acoustic tiles, drop ceiling tiles, and it'll cut down about 1/4 of an inch with the wheel there. And I use it for marking speakers quickly and easily. Plus it cuts, you know, like 1/4 inch through, so it gets your cut started, and it makes a clean cut, you know, like if you're cutting from the finished side. That's what that's for. Couple miscellaneous drill bits and some long Allens for adjusting the adjustment screws on TV mounts that have post-install leveling. Got a hammer, Stanley Fat Max. I don't know why I grabbed this one. I tend to like the S-Wings, but I don't know. I don't know where I got it. We got an Ideal set of step drills, all sizes. Had these for years. So far they've held up well. We have, this one's going to be rough to get open with the one hand, but there we go. This is a right angle screwdriver. It's real low profile. It's cam drive, so you're not, you know, dependent on a fine tooth ratchet for position. It's infinite position. It's made by Blue Point, which is, you know, Snap-on's rebrand, so somebody's making it for them. I'm not sure who, but it is made in the USA. Haven't had any issues with it. And we've got a Commercial Electric 15-foot mini fish tape. I don't really like Commercial Electric's quality, but this one's not bad. It was only 10 bucks. Sometimes when you're fishing a wall, you need a curl. You need something to curl in there. And I use this instead of fish sticks in that situation. Fish glow rods and whatnot. And then you basically got just some supplies down here in the bottom. Some putty, different kinds of Gorilla Tape clear, and duct, and then some butane and some silicone. That's pretty much it for that box. And at the bottom here, we have the bottom. This is where all the power tools reside. As you can see, I've got one of the trays in use for my batteries. It keeps them nice and safe and, you know, not bumping into metal stuff in the bottom of the box. Got a first aid kit in here. You always need that. Here's my big boy, the Milwaukee Whole Hog cordless. It works very well on corkscrew bits or ship augers and things like that. Also with the Milwaukee Big Hog hole saws. They're 3-tooth and they rip through wood beautifully. It does bog on some of the older batteries. It's probably a good idea for me to buy a couple deep discharge batteries for it. It's got the quick chuck, the 7/8 quick chuck that the whole hogs and the hole saws and the corkscrew bits and auger bits chuck into. I really hate the chuck key kind, so I don't really mess with that. I hate messing around with a chuck key, but this thing is freaking awesome. Standard 18-volt hammer drill, fuel. It's a beaut, man. I mean, Milwaukee's really kicking some butt with their fuel stuff. Got the charger for all that. And I got a pouch in here that I keep the blades and sanding discs and cutoff wheels for grinders and oscillating tools in. Some shorty auger bits that chuck into the whole hog. An assortment of extensions and auger bits. I mean, you can put these extensions together as long as you want. You never even have to get up on a ladder to drill through wall caps and things like that. Oh, one other thing on this big hole hog, it's a massive drill. Some guys are afraid of it, which I don't get, because it is triple geared. So when you hit a nail, it's not going to throw you against the wall or anything. It basically either rips through it or you stop. Most of the time it just rips through it. It's an awesome tool to have. And we've got 4.5-inch angle grinder. This thing has infinite uses right now. It's got a cutoff wheel on it for cutting unistrut or power strut, things like that. Got the Oscillating Multi-Tool. I love this thing. Some guys don't like it. They say it doesn't cut fast enough, but if you use the right saw blade for it, it gets through its work. I mean, it gets its business done. You have to use the Japanese tooth, aggressive saw teeth, I've found for it, but it works great. And then you got the standard Milwaukee Sawzall. They invented it. They're still the best. I mean, this thing is great. It's powerful. You know, speaks for itself. And then we've got the Sawzall blades. That's pretty much it, guys. That is the tour of my, huge tool rig. I forgot to show you this. Anybody can go into somebody's house and do their work and leave a freaking mess. But I carry this Milwaukee's compact vacuum. It works unbelievably well. Has a hose attachment, crevice tool. There's a brush head. We call it the teapot. It kind of looks like a teapot, but it works well. Clean up as you go, man. Be a professional. And that's it, guys. Hope this satisfied the listener that requested it. Any questions or comments, leave them below. I hate to beat a drum like everybody else does, but if you could, give me a subscribe and a like. I appreciate you watching, and have a good day.